NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
We know how.
San Diego has the only open beaches in Southern California heading into this holiday weekend. That means large crowds are expected, despite the dramatic spike in COVID-19 cases across the state. Thanks for joining us for the Nightly Check-In. I'm Monica Dean. Growing beach crowds and the potential risk was on the minds of many beachgoers we spoke with today.
My fear is that people won't keep the social distancing, and obviously it's spreading everywhere.
This was the scene out in Oceanside today. We found most people were wearing face masks. Some were not always completely covering their faces. Signs are posted throughout the area reminding visitors that face coverings are required and to maintain 6 feet of distance. Because San Diego has the only open beaches, there is concern out-of-towners will flock to our shores. Business owners near the beach who are normally thriving this time of year are being mindful that big crowds could lead to more positive COVID cases and trigger more closures.
I definitely think we'll see the roller coaster of closures, so I would expect after this weekend to possibly see Oceanside beaches close if they have huge crowds come in.
The San Diego Tourism Authority doesn't have projections, but do expect fewer visitors this holiday. Remember, all state beach parking lots will be closed for the holiday. Meanwhile, this is our 3rd day of being flagged for elevated coronavirus numbers, which means by tomorrow, San Diego will end up on the governor's watch list. If things don't improve by Monday, indoor businesses like restaurants would close. As far as positivity rate, we are at 6.8%. That is 584 new cases out of 8,510 tests performed. In total, there are 15,207 cases. 5 more San Diegans died, bringing the total to 377. Scientists are starting to learn more about the long-term effects COVID-19 may have on patients. Research proves the virus attacks more than just the respiratory system, but vital organs too.
It especially has affinity to the heart and the kidneys, the liver, but also can get to the brain and the gastrointestinal tract. So this is a really bad virus because it's not just a lung virus. It's so much more pervasive.
Local doctor and founder of Scripps Research Translational Institute, Eric Topol, says after 6 months into his research on COVID-19, he is finally seeing additional effects. He says for some, if the virus reaches the pancreas, it can induce diabetes. If you're already diabetic, it can make the disease more difficult to manage. He says while those who need to be hospitalized or put on ventilators may have a longer road to recovery, asymptomatic people still aren't spared. There's clearly a mad dash to find a vaccine for the coronavirus. Now some scientists are looking at an antibody found, yes, in llamas.
She's like, I need snacks if I'm going to be on camera.
U.S. and Belgian researchers have pinpointed that an antibody inside llamas have proven effective against viruses like SARS. Coronavirus attaches itself to our cells with tiny barbs, kind of like Velcro. Those antibodies found in llamas could cover those bars so they can't attach to us.
It'll be cool if they're able to protect humans as well. And that's the crazy thing. I mean, who would have thought llamas of all things?
Who would have thought? Well, according to the National Institute of Health, researchers are still testing the antibodies. If they work, it would still be months before a vaccine is available for humans. Holiday weekend is nearly here. Dagmar will join us next with your Friday forecast after this quick break.
NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe. We know how.
Is your water heater rusted, old, or leaking? Have a new Mood water heater installed by a certified Bill Howe technician. And Mood will extend their standard warranty from 6 to 8 years. You know who to call.
Because we know how.
Looking at your Friday, your July 3rd, just one day ahead of the holiday. Of course, tomorrow, you're looking at some pretty decent weather. Now, as we move along through the course of the day, you'll notice more clearing at the beaches, so you will end up with mostly sunny skies. There are temperatures in the mid-70s. Inland valleys will see a lot of sun and fairly early on as well. That leaves you in the low 80s. Mountains, you're going to start your warm-up now. You're looking at about that upper 70 mark, so 1 or 2 degrees warmer than you were yesterday. Deserts also, unfortunately, 1 or 2 degrees warmer, and that leaves you anywhere from about 103 to maybe 108, starting to peak and get close to that 109, 110 level. Yeah, we do have a heat spike on the way. That will peak on Sunday. For now, know that your Friday, July 3rd, is looking good in all 4 forecast zones.
Many local fireworks displays for July 4th have already been canceled, including the Big Bay Boom. Firefighters say that's not an excuse to put on your own show. Yes, this is the classic demonstration. These are illegal. This demonstration by firefighters using a watermelon gives you an idea of just how explosive those fireworks can be. Every year, they lead to thousands of injuries, including burns and lost fingers. And it's not just the big ones like Roman candles. Firefighters say the molten metal that flies off sparklers is also extremely dangerous. Even confetti poppers and those snap poppers that kids throw on the ground, they can cause serious injuries too.
We have seen so many burns from kids putting those friction-sensitive fireworks in their pocket and forgetting they have them there, and then something else like hitting them in the pocket or even them just rubbing against each other. They all go off together, and that creates quite a burn.
If you were caught with fireworks, you could be slapped with a $1,000 fine or 1 year in jail. Firefighters say the only safe way to enjoy fireworks is at a professional show. Poway will launch fireworks from 2 locations, Poway High and the city's Sportsplex. Santee will also have 2 simultaneous shows at Town Center Community Park East and West Hills Park. Robot room service is now becoming an important part of how hotels do business in the age of COVID-19. We showcased Winnie the robot when she first started working at LAX's Embassy Suites Hotel back in 2016. Well, now she's more than just a fun novelty because she's become the perfect method to avoid human contact during these pandemic times. Hotel executives say 7 out of their 8 hotel lobbies now have robots just like Winnie.
Yes, it does relax me a lot more now. Towels, just to see it come to my room and maybe take a selfie with it for sure.
A selfie. Winnie is now used by more than 60% of the guests. She's also sanitized, by the way, between each delivery. That's going to do it for our nightly check-in. If you're a Padres fan or a sports fan in general, check out our On Fryer podcast. A special July 4th episode is out featuring interviews with Nathan's hot dog eating competitor, Crazy Legs Conti. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.